Waco residents are flocking to polls as Election Day comes to a close. Fox 44's Emily KAYE, she's live from the Waco Convention Center. Emily, where there are a lot of people out there today.
Adam, we've actually seen a steady stream of people coming in and out of this polling location today. And as we get closer to 5:30, we're seeing even more people coming out here, but we haven't seen any lines forming. Now, during early voting, we saw lines wrapped around the building at some polling locations, but now that Election Day is here, it seems to have died down just a bit. And again, as we get closer to the end of the day and as people get off work, we are starting to see a few more people coming in and out of this location, but some voters that we spoke to today say voting wasn't a hassle at all.
Not at all, actually. My roommate came here earlier and told us to go here because there wasn't a very long line, so we did that.
The polls will stay open until around 7 p.m. tonight, so if you haven't cast your vote yet, there is still time to come out and do that. Live at the Waco Convention Center, Emily KAYE, Fox 44 News.
Thanks. Now we're heading over to see how the polls look in Bell County. Fox 44's Cameron Stewart, he's live outside of a voting center in Temple. Cameron, how's it been out there?
Well, Adam, it's been staggered here over the last few hours. You can see there is a line forming behind me now with people getting out of work. There is still time, of course, an hour and a half or so until the polls close. So we are starting to see a lot more people coming down here than we did about, say, an hour ago. But I've been to a couple of these voting sites here in Bell County, and none of them really had lines out the door of more than 8 or 10 people, even with the social distancing going on. We know there was over 100,000 voters here in Bell County that voted early, so that might have something to do with it. But we will give you the status of these voting centers a little later on in the show. Till then, live in Temple, I'm Cameron Stewart, Fox 44 News.
The two men at the top of the ticket tonight and their vision for America's future are polar opposite, which makes the party's approach to election night distinctly different. Fox 44's Kendall Green, he's live at McLennan County polling sites. Kendall, voters are in for an unpredictable night, I would say.
Yeah, Adam, Democrats tell me they've done all they can to get voters engaged with the election, and for every action, there's a reaction. Republican leaders, they tell me they've done all they can to make sure the Republicans, they hold the state and McLennan County as well. Now, the parties vying for power tonight could not be any more different. You have the Democratic Party slamming Republicans on their policies and leadership during the pandemic. And you have the Republican Party defending their decision, saying their approach is geared more to protecting the nation's economy. Now, you have police reform. While Democrats want to make big changes to criminal justice up and down the ballot, Republicans by majority are backing the badge in the thin blue line. Now, health care, regulation, and immigration policy, student loan debt, they're all big differences as well. Now, the difference between the two parties is something established local party leaders call unprecedented. And the fight for the state's political fate this year is more intense than it's been in a very long time.
We're taking this election with utmost seriousness, but the most serious that I've ever experienced.
This is an election that not many people want to sit on the sidelines. It's a black or white, do or die, life, death election.
Now, coming up in the next half hour, we're going to take a look at their approach to getting voters to the poll. But for now, live in McLennan County, Kendall Green, Fox 44 News.